Hi everyone, my name is John Davis. I'm an Access Consciousness Certified Facilitator, and I'm here talking with Viv Adcock, also Access Certified Facilitator, about Talk to the Animals. So Viv, I've got to admit, this is not a topic that I've paid a lot of attention to in Access, and so I'm a little bit of a newbie on this. So, I mean, Talk to the Animals is a line from a movie, Dr. Dolittle, isn't it? And in that movie, the animals talk in English, and they're sarcastic and it's funny and all that sort of stuff. But can you tell me, what is talking to the animals to you?
Yeah, so talking to the animals is a way of being present with any animal, whether it's the birds, the bees, your dog, your cat, your horse, and being willing to receive from them in a way that is non-verbal, basically, because I think people think about animal communication as they speak English or Spanish or French and they expect this open conversation, when it can be that and it can be something totally different and totally adventurous at the same time.
Right. Well, I see a lot of people, for example, talking to their dogs, but it's sort of one-way communication, isn't it? Do this, do that. I'll be happy if you do what I want you to do. So, can you talk a little bit about the two-way communication that you do?
Yeah, I mean, for the majority of people watching this video in the future, it's very much about if you have a person who just constantly talked at them all the time and told them what to do and treated them as if it was this external relationship, how would that make you feel? How would you show up in that relationship? You wouldn't feel received, you wouldn't feel heard, you wouldn't feel connected to, or that what you had to offer was a contribution. So for me, with the animals, it's very much I treat them as as an infinite being. I treat them as I would a person, and have this sense of connection where you reach into their world, you get to know their personality, you listen to them, but it's not listening as we would listen. It's like you literally are just present with them and asking them a question. If there's something going on, our dog at the moment isn't eating food, she's off her food, and I'm like, hey, what's going on? And it's not going to be this, it's not going to be this immediate conversation how you and I would have one. Yeah. It might be just a case of sitting and just being present with the dog and waiting for some information, or waiting for an awareness, or waiting for a light bulb just to turn on. So it's quite a different way of talking to the animals, where you ask them a question and you just be present. You don't have a foregone conclusion, you don't try and find the answer, you don't go to the books or jump to the conclusion of, oh, it's this, that, or the other. You just sit and be present with them in a way that allows that awareness, the information, whatever it is that's going on for them, to kind of seep into your world. It whispers into your world.
Yeah, cool. And you, at a class, would you deal with people bring along their pets and
yeah, so I facilitated a 2.5-day class called Talk to the Animals, based on this book written by Gary Douglas, the founder of Access Consciousness, Talk to the Animals. So it's a variety of things. I mean, we can be at a zoo, we could be at an animal hospital, we could be at an animal shelter, we could be on a farm, we could be at somebody's property, and we work with the animals that are on the property. We have had people bring animals in that have so-called, they might have skin conditions, or they might have emotional stuff that they're taking on from their owners, or they might have a behavioural quote-unquote issue. So, animals communicate in a variety of ways, and it's not literally using English or French or Spanish. It's through a physical reaction. They're using a behaviour as a way of trying to communicate and reach us, which we often just assume is a problem or a wrongness, rather than, hey, what's going on? What's up in your world? What are you aware of? What are you trying to show me and get me to be aware of?
Animals, great facilitators.
They are incredible facilitators, yeah, if you're willing to ask the question and receive what comes back. And the most bizarre things can come back, the most bizarre things, like, oh, well, the noise next door when the fridge kicks in really upsets me when I'm asleep. It's just the weirdest of things can suddenly come up,
Yeah. And I guess for people that are really stuck in their head and talking, always thinking things through, you just can't do that with an animal, because they won't understand whatever it is that you're trying to project at them. You've just got to take them as they are.
Yeah, and that's a great point, John, because what we do is we do project. We don't realise that we're constantly trying to find the answer or fix the problem and solve the issue. rather than just develop this, it's like this invisible relationship, this invisible energetic communication, where yes, you're present with them as a physical animal, but there's a whole different level of conversation going on.
Cool.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, thanks, Viv, for this brief
You're
intro.
welcome. Thank you for watching.
Talk to the animals.
Awesome book. Oh, and you were just saying that you've never read this book before.
I hadn't read it until we were going to do this interview, I've got to admit. So, and there's stuff in here that I have done access for a long time, and I hadn't really seen it in the way, because my background is from a very scientific point of view and do a lot of thinking. And there's, when you're dealing with an animal, you can't be in that space. You've got to just, well, what's going on? Be in the question, and yeah, it's really opened my eyes, that's for sure.
That's great. And just what you said then, it's that presence, it's the state of being that we're not thinking, and that sometimes is so challenging for us in this day and age, because we're so overstimulated with everything that to stop thinking and to have that space and to be present, it's like, what the hell do you mean be present? What do you mean stop thinking?
Yeah. And
animals don't function from thinking. They do have a sense of just, they connect, they just invite you just to be present and have that space and have that ease and have that silence almost, where it's a rest for your body. It's almost like a nurturance for your body, where you get a temporary break from the whirrings of the machinery. And the more you be around animals, the more it invites you to be that space. And so the tools of Talk to the Animals is very much about inviting you to be that space, how they function, where there isn't that chatter going on.
Awesome. Great. Well, thanks a lot, Viv.
Thank you, John.
Cheers.
Bye.